Welcome home, all. Welcome to the day and a wake up, for tomorrow. And so we are on the Monday prior to the Tuesday where we get to exercise our rights to vote and express not just our opinion, our belief, our voice, but also express as a country and as a people our belief in democracy and free and fair elections. So that's tomorrow morning, and we've had, a lot of time and shows on 10 Minutes of Truth going back to when we first began this format and this show process back prior to the summer, back early within the first month or two of the pandemic, the coronavirus and its affliction of our country. And, and I've said my piece, up until this point. And so this 10 Minutes of Truth prior to Election Day tomorrow is, the last 10 Minutes of Truth for me prior to an election where we find out, who is or isn't, our president going forward. And I've done a lot of thinking, a lot of soul searching, and my soul searching isn't an overnight, unilateral one thing. It is a process and a long, arduous, and comprehensive, nuanced, and thoughtful practice of thinking on what it is I feel, what I see, what I know, what I believe, and what I choose to put out in this format here for all to see. I will say this, and I do feel it's easy for me. I've never had issue with speaking and saying what it is I believe or don't believe and what I am for or against. I've never had that problem. I'm pretty simple that way. However, not all can, and that's not a bad thing. It's just who you are. Not all can do that or will do that. And definitely not for posterity's sake, and definitely not for many, many, many people to view. And over the time that we've done these shows, some of these shows have gotten in excess of 10, 20, 30,000 views in other locations in other parts of the country. Hundreds or thousands and sometimes tens of thousands have viewed these shows. And obviously that, that makes someone, make you happy, right? That you got people watching. But for no other reason, I don't do my shows for views. I don't do my shows to try to please people so they'll watch and some type of performative art that I need, affirmation from anyone to make me feel good about what I do. And that's another thing I've never had an issue with or a problem. I do what I feel is right. And I don't rely on emotion. I rely on reason and an intellectual process in which I bring out what I feel. Then it's for you to decide. It's quite literally like a book where an author writes a book and puts down thought and then puts it out, lets others read it. Then he puts out another book and another book and another book. Same thing, okay? So I don't need all the other, like I said, affirmation and praise or heaps or whatever. I don't need that at all. I just need to know, and this is it, this is all I need. I need to know that what I felt at this time, what I believed in this time, where I was at in my life, watching a country, my country, a country that I love, deep into my bones, deep to my core, watching as a country just absolutely went haywire, and not overnight, but over days, weeks, months, some years, and here we are. So I need to be at peace with myself, knowing that I said all the things that I wanted to say before this election was done. Before this election was done. And with some reservation, I feel like I've gotten most of it out. Some of you may not have liked it. Some of you may have disagreed with it. But you'll never look me in the eye and tell me that I didn't speak my piece and speak my truth. Because I always do. And I put it out for everybody to see because I have nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing to hide when it comes to my beliefs and what I feel is right and wrong about where this country is and where it's going. Okay? So having said all that, this is a 10-minute show, 10 minutes of truth, and I always go beyond it. Some of you guys joke with me a little bit, and it's okay. But it is a thought process. It is a single thought that we encapsulate into a show, and I got to get that thought out. So anybody that's in my Facebook group or any group with me, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, etc., knows where I'm at with regard to this election. But I want to make 100% clear and unequivocal, and I'm going to put this on air for all to know and see, so you can come back and ask and check it later if you have any question about who or what I am. We need to be 100% clear. The issues that I have with this president have nothing to do with partisan politics. Absolutely nothing. My issue with this president has nothing to do whether he is a conservative or a liberal, because he's not either one. My issues with this president have nothing to do with his ideology or his personal, because there's plenty there. And I've never said anything about it. No, my issues with this president are quite literally constitutional and democratic. They have everything to do with the office of the presidency. They have everything to do with Article 2 of our Constitution, the executive branch. They have everything to do with the subversion and the perversion of that office and the executive branch. And has everything to do with the fact that we are weaker now as a people and more divided as a people than at any time in our nation's history, at least since the Civil War. At least. Nothing has come close since until now. So I can run a laundry list of things that this president has done that are either illegal, and yeah, I said illegal because he's a criminal in office. He just hasn't been prosecuted because he's the president. Because the president in our society right now is above the law. And I've done this before, and I'll do it again right now. Any of you have an issue with that, message me directly. I'll give you a call. We'll have that conversation. Absolutely. But to this day, none of you have called me. None of you have messaged me because you don't want to have that conversation. I'd like to sit with you. You look me in the eye and you tell me that you believe this guy is not a criminal in office. Because you're either ignorant and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, or two, you do know. And you'd rather lie and cover it up and say Joe Biden's bad or the Democrats are this and they're socialists. Deflection, diversion, garbage. So, I can run the laundry list, there's plenty. Okay? But I'm going to do this as I've done it once before. Article 2 of the Constitution is the executive branch. The job of the executive is to execute the laws. See how that works? Real simple. Executive. Execute the laws. Not break them, not subvert them, not change them. So on principle component number 1, this is the worst president in the history of the United States. Period. And it will be so in the history books. Not just because I'm telling you now, because I'm a historian. That's the way it'll be written. I can go on and on about all the things he is personally, because he is a filthy human being. And no one will deny that, not with a straight face. I never got over Charlottesville and Nazis as fine people. I never will. Why? Because I'm an historian. And I know history. And I know what Nazis were. And I know the wannabe Nazis today, what they are. If you don't know that, I apologize to you for the American system of education failing you. Or maybe you just don't want to know it. You just don't want to admit to it. But that is a reality. So again, without the laundry list of things that I can go over, I'll say this, and this will be my final piece. I absolutely believe in my heart and to the core of what I am as an American that Donald Trump will not heal this nation. That Donald Trump will continue to further divide this nation. And it will be on racial lines. It will be on economic lines. It'll be on any line that is not his. Because he is singularly the most selfish person on the planet in that kind of position. It's not even close. He has the most powerful office on the planet. And no one is blatantly more selfish than he. For that reason alone, it is enough. The underlying, more serious reason is that we have slowly and inexorably been moving into and are currently de facto an autocracy, where the person at the top is above the law and can do whatever they want. If he wins re-election, not only will we go there, but this Constitution, this democracy is done. And you can quote me on that. We'll be a democracy in name only. In name only. And for any of you out there that choose to fight back and speak truth to power, woe be to you, because there will be consequences, as we've already seen. That's where I'm at. As usual, if any of you have argument or discussion, lucid, intellectual discussion to have with me on these matters, I'm easy to get. I'm easy to get too. Go to my Facebook group, message on here. I'm easy to talk to, willing to talk to. But don't bring garbage to the table, because I'll throw it out. Bring serious, honest, intellectual discussion. And I'll be spending their time with you, making sure that we get our points across and you understand where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'll make it real simple. Tomorrow, a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for autocracy, a vote for ending the democracy in the 244-year experiment we have now. Vote for Joe Biden because he is the only alternative we have, period. You may not like it, you may not like him, but I'll say it, at least with Joe Biden, we won't be a third world dictatorship going forward. And then we can argue about issue and policy. You know why? Because I'd love to do that. I'd love to just argue about issue and policy, because that's not what we're arguing about right now. Let's get back to something that is normal, and yeah, I did say that. Normal in the sense that you keep politics here and you keep your personal relationships over there. Stop breaking up families and dividing this country. That's where we go. And for the record, Biden is the only one that has said that he will actively work to heal this country and bring us together. Donald Trump has never said such and never will, because he has no intention to. Vote Biden for democracy. Vote Trump, autocracy. That's my piece to you tonight. Get out and vote. I want all of you to get out and vote. And if that's the way the chips fall, then so be it. Whichever way they go, I really don't care. If everybody gets to vote. If everybody gets to vote. That's my piece. I'll be with you later in the week after this mess is sorted out.